Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul-away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock in a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Hello, my spookies. I know you love being scared, so you need to check out Found Footage, the series, a brand new horror anthology from the creators of Weekly Spooky and myself. Streaming free on Tubi, this series delivers 8 terrifying tales of murder, monsters, ghosts, and more. Featuring chilling stories from Dan Wilder, Shane Migliavacca, Tim Castle, and Joe Solmo. All episodes are produced by yours truly. It's the perfect binge for a spooky night in. So grab your snacks, turn off the lights, and prepare for a scare. Just head to Tubi.tv or download the Tubi app on your smartphone or television. Search Found Footage the series and start streaming, if you dare. The haunting origins of Halloween tradition. A wild squirrel on the loose, ready to attack. The most haunted highway in Scotland, and Michelle prefers her corpses mesquite style.
Get comfortable. Turn off the lights. It's Monthly Spooky.
All right. My spookies, hello, hello. It is, indeed, that time of the month. It's the only catchphrase that's caught in like 3 years for this program is it's that time of the month. Sorry. Deeply. I'm, of course, Enrique Couto, here with my good buddy and monthly spooky co-host, Michelle. Michelle, I'm not going to ask how you're doing.
Thank you.
Because we get emails of people saying, please stop asking her that. It hurts her. We can tell.
Yeah.
No, but but I am going to say that there is a mystery afoot in your life right now.
Yeah.
The mystery wall your neighbors are building.
Oh, yeah. They're building a wall.
What, when you say a wall, do you mean a fence?
No, I mean a wall. So they flatten the backyard part of it, and then they flatten the other part, but it's on a slope. So it can't be flat, really, unless they flatten it all the way. Like, it doesn't make sense. So then there was a spot where one part was way higher than the other part, and then they dug a trench, and I was like, what is the trench for? And then I was like, it's going to be a wall. So now they're building a wall out of cinder blocks, like literal wall.
Could it have been a moat and not a trench?
Sure, but now it's filled with cinder blocks, so it's not any of those.
It wouldn't be a very good moat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's technically a retaining wall.
Oh,
but I just don't understand why it's there and why they did that to the backyard. And they seem to be building some sort of form, like for concrete, at the way back against their fence. I don't know what that means. What's going to happen there?
I've been to your house many times, and I've seen that neighbor's yard. They're like the easiest to see from most of the, from the living room, dining room, stuff like that. I can't think of any need for a retaining wall.
Well, there is now that they changed the way the backyard slopes.
Well,
there wasn't before.
they're creating jobs, they're keeping themselves employed, I guess.
It might be that. I mean, it's like the landlord and just his, I guess, friends, because they only really do it on the weekends. I don't know.
Jesus.
So
I'm very worried.
Yeah, they knocked down the front porch post columns, which were made out of lath, which I thought was really interesting.
What, made out of what?
Lath that like wood pieces that go under plaster.
Okay.
It's constructed out of lath, and then they just stuck up like big just pieces of wood that don't look any better or potentially look worse, a lot worse. So I'm very confused.
I am too. I was more excited when all you knew was they were digging a hole.
Yeah,
and we were hoping they were digging a hole to like hell.
Yeah.
That would have been way cooler.
Yeah, they didn't even really dig a hole. They just made it. They just leveled out the backyard.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that are lame, I don't know. That's a horrible transition. I've been slowly but surely putting up my Halloween decorations.
That's good.
The need for a weekly spooky in October, as usual, is a hell of a lot, and it's been very hard to find any other time in the day to do much else, especially since I'll be at Cinema Wasteland this weekend, this coming weekend. So I have to have 3 days where I'm not recording, but don't worry, still talking because it's a sales convention. So still talking nonstop all day long. So no rest for the voice, just not into a microphone.
What if you just use the voice thing on ChatGPT?
Oh, God.
And like you just told it what it needed to say when people ask questions?
That reminds me, did you hear about, so they just released the new AirPods Pro 3.
Okay.
And apparently the AirPods Pro 3 and 2, which I'm a huge AirPods Pro believer, they are going to have a technology from your phone that will allow it to hear people talking to you in other languages and translate it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's time?
It's time.
It's time for Star Trek?
It's time for the Universal Translator.
Wow.
It's not, and for real, the only reason that it has to be AirPods Pro 2 or 3 is that the headset requires a certain amount of processing power in order to capture the audio properly. But yeah, I think that feature hasn't been rolled out yet, but it will be like in a couple of months or something.
Yeah.
Now I'm checking Apple Live Translation. No, it works now.
Oh.
Yeah, on the 17th of September it started.
Wow. I wonder how good the translations are.
Me too. I'm going to have to test it because I have AirPods Pro 2. So, and I'm getting an AirPods Pro 3 because I was like, I shouldn't buy these. They're expensive. And then I literally was like, you literally use them every single day. Like, of all the tech stuff that you use to make your day easier, your phone and your AirPods are the only things you're guaranteed to use every single day.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, I really do like AirPods. And these new ones are going to have 8 hours of active noise canceling
that's pretty
on
good.
one charge. I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
8 hours instead of 6?
I didn't even know it was 6 before, so I don't know.
All right, fine. Poo everything I think is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they'll be translating. But yeah, so I've been putting up lights, which I found out something in my neighborhood. I don't know if it was a raccoon or a cat or a what, pulled down a portion of my string lights on my gutters.
Squirrel, probably?
It could be, but it would have to be pretty heavy to be able to pull them down because they're on hooks that aren't attached. They're hooked into the gutter. So they'd have to pull really hard to get that dislodged. And not only do they pull it, but I have my wires. I have the wires on my string lights coiled and zip tied so that the light bulbs are closer to each other to make them brighter. Right. And it had like pulled those like really tight, like it had undone them a bit, which means something had to really pull. My first thought was that it was Rachel. I was like, Rachel, did you accidentally walk into the lights? Because they're plugged in down below. Did you like walk into them and accidentally kind of like trip and you didn't want to say anything and you're going to fix it or something? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, huh. So I'm thinking it's got to be something bigger than a squirrel.
Maybe.
Because that would take quite a bit of force. But unfortunately, now that string of lights doesn't work at all because they're water resistant, but the pack, the electronics pack on it is not waterproof.
Oh.
And I had it stuck underneath the awning, like against the house, so it never got wet because it was like water resistant up to a very low amount. So I was like, oh, I'll just keep it there. So that's dead. So I have to buy an entirely new strand of those lights.
I'm sorry.
Because you can't buy just the pack. Because the pack is the most expensive thing. Like the lights are like barely additional. So, but once that's up, I'll have my Christmas lights that I can program to like flash between orange and purple and stuff. So I can have my Halloween spooky lights. And I got my jack-o'-lantern face projector projecting on my garage door. And I got some zombie head stakes that'll go along the walkway to my front of my house. And they have motion sensors that they light up and go when you walk by them.
That's pretty cool.
And these are great because they run on batteries, which I would normally be annoyed by, but it's so nice to be able to have the freedom to put them somewhere not right by an outlet.
Yeah.
Although I'll probably end up putting them right by an outlet. So anyway, I'm trying to get my house Halloweened up before October officially starts. It is like we're so close to spooky season starting. So I thought, why not have our Halloween conversation, our pre-Halloween conversation, be about the origins of Halloween traditions? And I know we've done a few of those kinds of things before, especially the one that was all about, what was it, wool?
Crepe paper.
It was crepe paper. But I found this really interesting piece from the Library of Congress about the origins of Halloween traditions. So I figure we'll dig into that. But first, we got to get to the spooky news right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Hey there, spookies. Think you've seen every creepy classic out there? Well, think again. Popcorn Fodder, now streaming free on Tubi, is where I personally host deep dives into the shadows of horror film history. Join me in unearthing the weirdest, wildest, and most overlooked horror gems you've never seen, but definitely should. From murderous kids to sharks with an unrepentant appetite, Popcorn Fodder has it all. So grab your popcorn, dim the lights, and stream Popcorn Fodder on Tubi, if you dare. And join me for 8 terrifying films, completely free on Tubi. All right, we're back. But before we get to the thing that if I say it, it triggers something, we do have a news update, which I know you know about because like right after our last monthly spooky recording, they finally sentenced Aaron Patterson, the mushroom killer, from Australia. And we've been following this for months here at Monthly Spooky. It took over almost an entire episode of the show when we first found out about this story and started reading about it. It was kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So this is news according to NPR.
Mm-hmm.
Headline is, the Australian woman who killed her in-laws with toxic mushrooms gets life in prison. And I appreciate, Michelle, that you told me immediately when you heard. Because I wanted to hear it from you before anybody else.
Aww.
An Australian judge sentenced Erin Patterson to life in prison on Monday, weeks after she was convicted of killing 3 of her estranged husband's elderly relatives with poisonous mushrooms in a home-cooked meal. And if you guys don't know the story, go back on the Monthly Spooky catalog because there is so much lore. I'm planning on, maybe in the new year, doing like a really exhaustive, terrifying, and true about the whole thing.
You should.
Because there's so many crazy details and I want to wait till they all come out. I mean, the court, her saying like, oh, I've never even whatever. And they're like, okay, anyway, here's like you Googling how to forage deadly mushrooms. Like it's like not quite that. Well, it might be that bad, actually. Some of the stuff I was reading, I was like, what on earth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In July, after a 9-week trial, a jury found Patterson guilty of 3 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. On Monday, Justice Christopher Beale sentenced the 50-year-old mother of 2 to 3 life sentences, plus another 25 years for attempted murder. I threw the book at her.
Yeah.
She will be eligible. Never mind.
She'll be eligible for parole. I know.
In 33 years.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I don't understand how you'd be eligible for parole in 33 years when you got 3 life sentences plus 25 years.
I don't understand what.
I know that it's by their discretion.
Mm-hmm.
I guess their attitude is the likelihood of recidivism is low. Like, why would she kill again? Since it was a very specific situation. And also she'll be 82 years old if she's still alive by the time she gets out in 2056.
Yeah.
So I guess the attitude is like, since she's not a repeat offender, since this is her first offense ever, that the likelihood that she'll end up back there, you know what? They're just a kind nation because they're a nation of convicts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine how bad you had to be sent all the way to Australia. Like that's really far away to originally be a prison colony. I think about that a lot. I should actually read about it though, instead of just being judgy. But I know we have a few Aussie listeners. Send us an email. Tell me I'm terrible. weeklyspooky@gmail.com. At Monday's hearing, which was broadcast live from the Supreme Court of Victoria, Beale delivered a summary of the case against Patterson and concluded, quote, the gravity of your offending warrants the imposition of the maximum penalties for your crimes. That's what it said.
Yay.
Patterson, who has maintained her innocence, kept her eyes closed for much of the hearing and showed little emotion when Beale announced her sentence. Under Australian law, she now has 28 days until October 6th to file an appeal against her sentence, conviction, or both.
Wow. Okay.
In July of 2023, Patterson hosted 4 guests for lunch at her home in a small town in Legonthia. Legontha, however you say it. So it is undisputed that she served them individual portions of homemade beef Wellington, a steak dish wrapped in pastry, usually with a paste of finely chopped mushrooms. And as Patterson herself acknowledged during the trial, that paste contained death cap mushrooms, which are among the most poisonous in the world.
Yeah.
All 4 guests were hospitalized with gastrointestinal symptoms the following day, and 3 of them died. We've talked about a lot of this. It's just, this story is so nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And her lies are the best. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if we touched on this when we originally talked about it, because I was talking to my mom about it. Death cap mushrooms are responsible for 90% of all mushroom fatalities. So
I don't think we had that. I know that they're like the most fatal mushroom.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, would be a great name for our band.
Fatal mushroom or the most fatal mushroom?
Ooh, I kind of like the most. It feels more meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that is pretty much it. Beale did say Patterson has been, quote, effectively held in solitary confinement for the last 15 months, and for her own protection could remain that way for years to come because of the everybody knowing about this case.
Wow.
Yeah, when you're all over the news, being in prison can be pretty dangerous. Because it just brings people, it makes people aware of you.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, fine. I'm going to start making everybody aware of you all the time.
I feel like everyone's aware of me all the time.
More. I'll do it more, though.
Fine.
That is why he decided to make her eligible for parole eventually, despite the seriousness of her crime. Because of the sheer amount of solitary confinement she will likely be put through. Okay. Solitary confinement's brutal.
Yeah.
There are tons of studies about how that's just hell on a human being's brain.
That's how I want to go.
Could you expound on that a little bit? What? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I just really wanted to say that.
We weren't even talking about a way of dying. We were just talking about an experience. Okay, Dark Chell. God, that was uncomfortable.
Sorry.
The quote, the harsh prison conditions that you have experienced already and the likely prospect of solitary confinement for the foreseeable future are important and weighty considerations which should count for something in the sentencing exercise, he said.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. She did later testify that, sorry. For a second I thought she'd finally admitted that she said she had cancer. She did not. So.
Okay.
I'm just skimming it to make sure there's nothing I hadn't, because there's a lot of stuff we've already talked about in this article. But most importantly, life in prison, charged for 3 murders plus 25 years.
Wow.
Honestly, I was afraid that I was afraid they were going to somehow be like, oh, it's criminally negligent homicide or something, when it's so clear she killed those people.
Yeah. No.
On purpose.
I was confident that it would work out.
You have a lot of confidence in the legal system.
Australian legal system.
Is it because they still wear wigs, I assume?
Yeah, because that's a big deal.
It makes a difference, damn it.
It does.
Well, we're going to come back and then we'll actually jump into the stuff right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock in a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Hello, my spookies. I've got something very exciting to share with you. For the first time ever, Rob Field's brand new horror thriller, The April Fool, is available in a signed paperback edition. And not just signed by Rob himself, but also by yours truly, Enrique Couto. This chilling tale takes place in the infamous town of Strickfield, where every April Fool's Day, someone dies in the most brutal way imaginable. Now Ashley Gable is the next target, and the clock is ticking. This is a limited release and it's only available at weeklyspooky.com/April Fool. Books are in stock and shipping right now. So if you love supporting Weekly Spooky and you want a collector's item worth dying for, grab yours today. Again, that's weeklyspooky.com/April Fool. Thank you so much for helping me keep the spooky alive. All right. Without any further ado, Michelle, would you like to do the honors?
No, it's okay.
What? It's not that you turn it down, it's that you are so happy to. You just had you went from a basic, resting face to huge smile. You said, no, it's yours. I don't know if that was your thrill at putting me off, or if it was your thrill at not accepting kindness for yourself. They're all good answers.
Maybe it's both of those things.
You're a very multifaceted individual. I'll give you that. But it's time for the spooky news.
The spooky news.
And Chell, I'm feeling nostalgic because Halloween time always makes me nostalgic. I think that's my favorite thing about holidays. You think about the past ones, you get a little nostalgic. So we're starting this month with a story from mirror.co.uk.
Wow, it's been a while.
Let's hope it's not a commercial. That's like every time we do a mirror.co.uk, I'm like, please don't be a commercial for something.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a few British and UK listeners write in and say that, mirror.co.uk, they all make fun of it.
That's so
that's
sad.
Good. They enjoy when we take the piss out of mirror.co.uk.
Good.
Headline is UK's most haunted road, where phantom trucks have caused real life crashes.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sounds spooky, right?
It definitely sounds like stuff. Yeah.
Well, roads at night very effortlessly get creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Well, I mean, have you never been creeped out when you're driving all alone at night?
No, I think we've talked about this in the past and I just don't really get it. I don't really think roads are creepy at night.
I mean, I like driving at night. So I'm not saying that all I ever do when I'm on a highway or a dark road is go oh, scared. But, okay, maybe sometimes scared. But I do find sometimes certain stretches of road for whatever reason just kind of feel a little creepier at night. Not all of them by any stretch. Most interstates feel totally fine. It's just oh yeah. But every now and then, when I would drive to Georgia through the night, I used to have to do that a lot. There's a stretch through North Carolina that's just back roads. It's not interstate.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be in the daytime, it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
At night, it is creepy as hell.
I just don't find roads creepy. Sorry.
Fine. Okay. I'm stupid. That's what you're saying. You win. You win.
No, I don't want to win.
Across the UK, there are roads with reputations that could make even the most experienced driver second guess a late night journey. That's you.
I don't think so.
Ghostly figures appearing from nowhere, phantom vehicles, and unexplained accidents that have been reported by drivers for decades, making some stretches of tarmac notoriously haunted.
I mean, if I got into an accident, it would be very convenient to blame it on the ghost car.
That's a really good point. I'm with you on that would be incredibly convenient.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
The rural lanes to bustling motorways. From rural lanes to bustling motorways, these spectral encounters have become part of local lore. Below Ovaco, and online marketplaces, places for. My God, mirror.co.uk, get a copy editor. Below Ovoco, an online marketplace, it says places, for used car parts, has compiled a list of the UK's most haunted roads where driving at night can be an experience that's equal parts eerie and unnerving.
Oh.
At the top of the list is A75. I'm guessing that's how they label their highways. I don't actually know. Dubbed Scotland's most haunted road, the A75 winds through. I guess that is how you spell wind. Wait, no, that's winds. Isn't wind with an H?
I don't think.
Oh boy,
so
we're all gonna.
I don't think winds has an H in it.
You're probably right. I just read, I don't write. The A75 winds through Dumfries and Galloway and has a history of bizarre sightings. Drivers have reported phantom trucks appearing out of nowhere, ghostly pedestrians stepping onto the tarmac, and spectral animals darting across the road. Okay, spectral animals. No, animals always dart out of the road.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's always how that works.
Yeah, and pedestrians sometimes go on the road too.
They do.
And sometimes trucks just appear.
I don't think that part's true.
Are you sure? You don't think trucks just kind of phase in and out of reality as a part of their normal thing that they're doing?
I can't say that I do think that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know how to explain this to you. You know, sometimes they're in one place, then they go through the thing, and then they're in another place.
Unrelated question. Do you have a carbon monoxide detector?
I have 3 carbon monoxide detectors.
None of them working.
Yes. They've taken the batteries out of all of them.
Because I was tired of all that beeping distracting me from my theories.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, quick plug, a couple weeks ago, or last week actually, on Terrifying and True, I did a story about America's Spook Hollow Roads, which I thought was really fun, which is basically the concept of a very American tradition of haunted roadways. Cool. I really recommend to listen to that. And if you like that, my deep dive into the urban legend Resurrection Mary out of Chicago, one of my favorite episodes I've ever done of Terrifying and True. Really love diving into the folklore. I can get a little squeamish with the true crime stuff, so I need the folklore to cleanse my palate. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if it says, like, and then a man killed his whole family, yeah, but that was a long time ago. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was over 100 years ago. Who cares? I didn't know him.
And they're all ghosts now, so whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's better. One chilling story that may be more rumor than the stuff written into Traffic Scotland's archives involves 2 truck drivers who crashed into what they thought was an oncoming lorry, only to find nothing but an empty road when they recovered.
Huh. They used truck and lorry.
They did.
In the same sentence.
I'm scared. This is the scariest part, is just British English.
Yeah.
The A75 has inspired claims of supernatural encounters for centuries, making night driving here an unnerving experience for those inclined to believe in the paranormal. Several years ago, John Hill of Mostly Ghostly Paranormal Investigators decided to research the road and its spooky reputation. He claimed that he unearthed so many ghostly encounters on the tarmac length that it is well deserving of the most haunted road in Scotland, and some say all of Britain, title. Mr. Hill and Mostly Ghostly founder Kathleen Croney held the first ever ghost coach tour of the road back in 2013, offering a guided tour of its most spine-chilling sights. Might be becoming a commercial.
Kind of sounds like it.
Ms. Croney told the BBC that one of the most infamous sightings was made by Derek and Norman Ferguson in 1962. Quote, "They were driving along here and the whole incident began with a large hen flying towards the windscreen of their car." Windscreen? Of their car, she said.
Oh.
Then they witnessed great cats and various other creatures, as well as witnessing a phantom furniture van, which is a bit unusual to say the least. Not according to Michelle.
It's not. Well, no, van. No, it was trucks. Vans would be weird if a van just came out of nowhere.
I guess that's a fair point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll learn a little bit more about this haunted roadway right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
All right, we're back looking at the story of the most haunted Scottish road, according to these Jim Oaks. According to those who worked on the road, lorry drivers would regularly report seeing groups of dejected, bedraggled people. What is with the language in this is so British. I feel like it's not normally, we don't usually hear bedraggled.
I like bedraggled.
Oh, I didn't say it was a bad word. I just said I don't expect that.
Yeah.
Bedraggled people pulling handcarts. Other translucent figures carried bundles. Bob Sturgeon used to run a snack van on the A75. A snack van? I'm guessing it's a van full of snacks.
Maybe, or it's a van made of snacks.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
A job that put him in regular contact with the HGV drivers who went up and down it. He claimed that one lorry driver had quit the industry after seeing a gaggle of ghosts on the road. The language is a little funny.
Yeah.
Quote, he had been parked on the Kinmount Straight, and he had woken up at 3 a.m, and he saw this parade of people. He said that it went on for ages, and he had just frozen. He was in an awful state, Mr. Sturgeon said. Scottish Paranormal, an investigation involved in Scotland's spookier involved in Scotland's spookier happenings, has compiled a list of the alleged sightings along the A75 and the characters that seem to appear multiple times. They also report large groups of ghosts walking along the roads, but of a different sort and from a different time. Well, it'd be weird if the ghosts were from the future.
They didn't say what time they were from. So maybe they are from the future.
I mean, oh wow, this is going really far back. Quote, travel back in time and envision a ghostly legion of Romans marching along the A75, visible only from the knees up. A stark reminder of the land's evolving topography and a haunting connection to Scotland's ancient past, Scottish Paranormal writes. Wow, so they're going all the way to Rome. Okay.
So I assume that the A75 has been around since Roman times?
I mean, my guess would be that it's just that it may have been like some kind of a thoroughfare, like a, dirt roads or
yeah. But
a path of some sort.
It would still have to exist. Otherwise, it would make no sense for people to be walking up.
It's probably just made up. Yeah, it's probably just made up.
Yeah.
Another alarming character is that of the old gamekeeper, who is said to appear at the side of the road with a rifle, watching the vehicles driving by before suddenly disappearing.
Okay.
That sounds creepy.
Could just be some guy, but okay.
Could just be a guy who still has a rifle somehow.
Yeah.
Those who are put off by the sound of the above and are considering making a lengthy diversion to skip A75 need not worry. Ghosts are not real. That's mirror.co.uk. A fascinating experience.
I'm
every
so
single
confused.
time. Yeah.
But I did learn that in the UK, like in California, they put "the" in front of highway numbers.
Huh.
According to this
like
article.
they just say it that way too.
Yeah, they say
the I-85.
Yeah. Yeah, the A75 instead of A75.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I like it. I like not doing that. Like, I like that we just say I-75, I-85.
Yeah.
I like that because it saves time. Who's got time for that?
Yeah, I already know it's the. I don't have to put it there.
Yeah, like, come on.
Like, it's like in Spanish when you drop the sometimes.
Well, I want to tell a story that's a little bit uplifting. And this is one that I'd been meaning to read on the show for a while.
Oh.
But I never got around to it. This is from NPR. Headline: After 529 days alone in the Australian bush, Valerie the mini dachshund is home.
Oh, I know about this.
You do?
Yeah. That's all I know. But yeah.
Bundled, well, I'm a dog person, so bundled in a little blanket on a plush couch, Valerie doesn't quite look like a dog who recently survived more than 17 months in the Australian wilderness.
Wow.
She's nestled between her two owners, 24-year-old Georgia Gardner and 25-year-old Josh Fishlock, licking the couple's faces every so often as they talk over Zoom.
Aww.
Quote, "She's the queen of the house," Gardner says, smiling. "It's her house and we just live in it a bit." But for 529 days, Valerie, a roughly 10-pound mini dachshund with short legs and a long black and brown body, was missing from that house. During a November 2023 camping trip to Kangaroo Island, a remote island in southern Australia, she ran away from the campsite.
Yeah.
On an island.
I mean, that's confusing.
I like, my greatest fear when I would take my dogs anywhere is that they would run away
on an
or
island.
Disappear.
Yeah.
On an island. I was really lucky. My dogs didn't really do the runaway thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, our dogs did. They would like try to just run for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a dog that would run away.
Look at this dog.
Wow. Look
so
at his
happy.
ears.
Yeah. Well, it's because she's laying back. Big old floppy ears. Anyway, Valerie was microchipped and also had an Apple AirTag on her collar.
Oh.
That's smart. The AirTag is really smart.
Mm-hmm.
But the island is sparsely populated and largely used for farming and livestock. And the tag needed Apple Bluetooth devices nearby to track her down. So the couple did what others do when their pets go missing. They posted about her disappearance on a local Facebook group, left some of their clothes and toys with Valerie's scent near the spot she ran off, and switched the AirTag into lost mode. Mm-hmm. But despite searching for days with members of the community, Gardner and Fishlock had to return home to mainland Australia, leaving the island without her.
Wow.
That's so rough.
Yeah. Why didn't she come back?
I don't know. And Australia is not known for having a very kind and forgiving nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, quote, "Leaving the island was probably the hardest decision I think I've ever made in my life. We went over there as 3 and we were going back as 2. It was a very horrible feeling," Fishlock remembers.
Mm.
They tried to hold out hope that someone would find her and they'd be back in a week or 2 to pick her up. But weeks turned into months, and there was still no word about Valerie.
Yeah.
Gardner says the couple tried to cope with the fact that their tiny dog had disappeared on an island home to predators like snakes and eagles. They made up a story trying to convince themselves that she'd been picked up by an old lady on a farm and was now eating dog biscuits and sleeping in a warm bed.
Aww.
Quote, "But we definitely had to be realistic that we might never get her home, and we had to move through that grief," she says. Man, that's so rough.
Yeah, it really is.
Then one day, this past February, more than a year after Valerie had gone missing, a farmer on Kangaroo Island snapped a photo of a tiny dog running through fields. That photo eventually made it to the Kangala Wildlife Rescue, a local animal rescue on the island generally focused more on wildlife than pets, who had been in contact with Valerie's owners since she'd gone missing and shared it with them. Gardner says at first they couldn't believe it. Quote, "There's no way a 4-kilo dog could survive that long," she remembers thinking. But, she says, the photo was absolutely Valerie.
Wow.
I know, right? Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll get into more of Valerie's amazing return home after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock in a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
And we're back talking about possibly the most badass mini dachshund on Earth. Although there may be some stiff competition there. Definitely in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the only one I know, so.
You haven't lived until you keep up with the scorecards on mini dachshunds.
Yeah, I'm never gonna live.
Lisa Karen, who runs Kangala Wildlife Rescue with her husband Jared, says once that photo came through, they got to work trying to rescue Valerie during their off hours. It was no small feat. Karen says they first thought it would take only a few days to catch the mini dachshund, but they put out about a dozen of what she calls cat traps, basic cages with a plate of food and a door that latches when an animal goes in. But they kept catching nearly everything. Brush-tailed possums, feral cats, wallabies, everything except Valerie.
Yeah.
Didn't you want a wallaby for Christmas? Wasn't I going to get you one?
I don't remember that at all. So no.
Okay, I guess I'll have him put to sleep.
No, just put him back where he belongs.
I can't.
Why not?
Because he belongs with you, Michelle.
No. He's
Too
never
late.
even met me before.
I let him loose in your house every night while you're asleep.
Oh, that's
that's what that
is.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, her next quote was, "Even a few kangaroos put their heads in there."
Oh,
she
God.
remembers. So along with a team of other volunteers, they began experimenting with different traps, often working long nights with little to no sleep. Eventually, they rigged up a big pen with a roof, several wildlife cameras, and a remote-controlled door, setting it in the spot where Valerie had been last seen. They replenished it daily with food like roast chicken and filled it with Valerie's toys and clothes that carried the scent of her owners. Eventually, Valerie started showing up, grabbing food before darting back out again. Well, yeah, she's become cunning.
Yeah.
To get by in the harsh world.
Let's face it, she was always cunning. She's been surviving. She knows what she's doing.
Damn right. See, I like, now you're on Team Val, and I love that for you.
Thanks.
And finally, after nearly 2 months of trying to capture the little dog, everything lined up. Valerie entered the pen and relaxed a bit. Then they hit the remote to drop the door.
Yeah.
Quote, it was surreal walking down to the trap site from the car, and you could hear her barking, Karen remembers. She climbed into the pen alongside her daughter, and eventually Valerie climbed into their laps and fell asleep. That's so really cute.
It's cute, but I feel bad for Valerie because I think she wanted to be free.
I don't know about all that.
I think she wanted to be free.
Okay. So what you're saying is they should let her back into the wilderness?
What I'm saying is this is a story of, kidnapping an animal. And
wow, you turned our feel-good story for the month into something really hateful. Great job.
Thanks.
Quote, our hearts just broke then. We knew she never, ever wanted to be a minute out there, she says. They seem to disagree.
Well, then how come she didn't run to, the farmer or that stuff? How come she kept going out of the cage? How come?
Maybe she was scared. I mean, at that point, it had been over a year.
Yeah.
When the cage was happening.
Yeah, so she, the stuff in the cage had the scent of her owners and stuff. So you'd think that she wouldn't be constantly darting out of it. I don't know. It sounds like she wanted to be free.
No one quite knows exactly how Valerie survived so many days in the wild. She was ultimately found about 30 miles from the campsite she'd left.
Okay.
Maybe by that point she had lost the scent of her owners.
It's possible.
Karen speculates that she was drinking water from nearby farms, burrowing in the dirt for shelter, or even eating the carcasses of dead animals. After her capture, Valerie went to the vet and got a clean bill of health. She'd even gained some weight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see, she was having a good time.
Quote, she's got the physique of a little bodybuilder, Karen laughed. About a month has passed since her big adventure came to an end, and Valerie has been back home with Gardner and Fishlock for about 2 weeks. They say she's settled right back in, playing with her toys, cuddling in bed, and going on walks, just like before she went missing. I mean, I would worry that she has a taste for blood now, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I feel like you worry about that more than I do usually.
I don't worry about taste for blood.
Oh, wait, no, you're a cat person, so you're like, yeah, they kill stuff. Do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, kill it. Quote, you're going to like this. Quote, she's come back a bit more independent, Gardner says. Mm-hmm. She's still quite attached to us, but she's stronger and more on her own.
Yeah.
Karen says people have asked her why she and her team put so much effort and time into finding one tiny dog. But for her, it was simple. Quote, if it was your dog, what would you want someone to do? Wouldn't you want someone to say, hey, let's do the best we can? We should all, as humans, just come together and make it right. Or at least try, she says. I like this lady, even though you think she's a kidnapper and a monster.
Yeah. I on the face of it, that's very nice. And I think that everyone should do the best for everything. But that dog just wanted to be free.
Wow. Okay, fine.
And it was like, when it realized it was going back to captivity, it was like, okay. But she wanted to be free. That's why she left. That's why she was just hanging out for almost 2 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the hot take.
Thanks.
Gardner and Fishlock say they've been flooded with messages about Valerie, mostly from Michelle. Angrily writing message after message.
Yes.
Many from people saying her story gave them hope.
Oh, that's too bad.
Jeez, Joe.
No, because this is such an extreme example. And I feel bad for people who their dog got away and they're really probably dead, and they're like, oh, well, maybe they're dead.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if she was being taken care of, but we don't know, by who or whatever.
It's possible. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if somebody saw a little dog and kept laying out food. Maybe they tried to catch her and that's what made her so, shy.
Mm-hmm. And it's possible. Yeah.
Maybe them trying to catch her just scared the hell out of her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Gardner says she hopes that that's what people can take away from the saga is hope. Quote, if a tiny little 4-kilo sausage dog can survive on Kangaroo Island in the Australian bush, then you too can survive whatever it is you're going through.
Aww.
Yeah, man, you're mean. These people seem so nice. They haven't even killed anybody.
Nice.
They haven't even killed anybody with toxic mushrooms. Like, these are great people.
They are. I'm sorry.
I think your apology might be accepted. We'll have to see. But we're going to take a break. And when we get back, I want to talk about a story I'm very excited about involving a ancient grave being unearthed in residential Lima. After this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
We have returned with even more spooky news, Chell. And this one I got really excited about when I saw the headline. Ancient pre-Hispanic grave unearthed under residential Lima. I want to say Lima Street because Lima, Ohio is near me.
Oh.
Which should be pronounced Lima, Ohio as well.
Yeah.
But it's Lima Street. This is from Reuters. And human remains pointing to a 1,000-year-old pre-Hispanic cemetery were unearthed in northern Lima by workers digging under the Peruvian capital to install a gas pipeline. An archaeologist told Reuters on Thursday. The tomb was found on a residential street just 2 meters from the front gate of a house.
Yeah, I don't know how big a meter is.
6.6 feet.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not smart. It's next to the 2 meters. It has the calculation. I'm not smart. Don't let anybody fall for that thinking I'm smart stuff. That ain't happening. Jose Pablo Aliga, an archaeologist for gas distribution firm Calida, said the remains of a man wrapped in burial cloth alongside pottery likely pointed to a burial complex after another body was found nearby last month.
Wow.
Ooh, here you can see some of the stuff, Chell.
Yay, there's a skull.
And some pots.
Mm-hmm.
And bamboo.
And some stuff next to it that doesn't look like it's old.
I think that's for
size?
Yeah, for reference, I guess would be the term. Quote, the material evidence suggests that it could be a burial of the Shankai culture from approximately 1,000 to 1,200 years ago, said Alaga, pointing to a coastal fishing-based civilization known for its textiles and ceramics.
Oh.
Quote, we are probably over a pre-Hispanic cemetery as we found another burial just around the corner from here, he added. So they're maggoty with burial spots. It is common for companies excavating under Lima to hire archaeologists due to the number of sites scattered in the city.
Yeah.
Last month, Calera gas workers working in the same district of Puente Piedra. I burned my tongue on my T and now I can't speak Spanish right. Discovered the remains of a mummified woman, which researchers estimate are over 900 years old.
Wow. That's not that old.
No?
No.
Are you just saying that to be a jerk?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Because, I mean, you went pretty hard against that family getting their dog back during the last segment.
I mean, I kind of stick by what I said, but I do think they're nice people. I'm just not sure that dog wanted to live indoors. I think that dog was happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you going to open your front door and just see what Giggs does?
No.
No?
She would die if she went outside because she doesn't have her whole face.
I thought you were going to no, because she's my property. I thought you were just going to go all in on that. I own her. Peru's 10 million strong capital hosts over 400 archaeological sites dotted around the city. Wow, 10 million people live in Lima. That's incredible.
Wow.
That's I need to know more about Lima, Peru, because I had no idea they had that size of a population in one city. I mean, that's incredible. Also, whenever I hear Peru, I think of Silent Night, Deadly Night 3.
Oh.
Because this girl who's blind, she goes to this psychotherapist guy, and she says, we're going to Peru. After I leave here, we're going to see my grandmother in Peru. And he's like, you're going to Peru? And she's like, no, Peru. It's in the valley where they grow oranges. It's the dumbest exchange, but I remember it forever because that's pretty much narrows down my entire existence.
Aww.
Is stuff like that. Whatever's the dumbest exchange, I'll remember forever. Yeah.
That's okay.
Anyway.
Good.
Oh no! Please, validate me, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, that's okay.
Finally. Calera itself has reported over 2,200 archaeological discoveries in the last 2 decades.
Oh.
Most of them traced back to the Chankay culture. That's really interesting that the gas company is hiring archaeologists and finding all this stuff. It's actually kind of nice.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's not different than anywhere else. My sister has to go out when they find graveyards under things.
Oh, I agree. It's just here. It's obvious that this was a massive hub of ancient cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting that it's the gas company has made 2,200 archaeological discoveries in 2 decades because it's just so thick with that stuff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
As to where if we were digging in my area of Ohio and we found a bunch of skeletons, people would be like, what? Well, unless it was near an Indian mound, but that's different. We do have a bunch of Indian mounds.
Yeah.
It's kind of our claim to fame, except for the birthplace of aviation, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. You can never win an argument with somebody from Dayton, Ohio about where you're from. You just can't, because all you have to do is keep the card close to your chest until they say well, we had the White Sox went to the whatever, and then you can go, oh yeah. We invented the man's ability to fly.
Yeah, but what about people? What about the people from North Carolina who are the first flight went here, and we have a museum about it.
No, for their museum, there can't be anything interesting in that museum because the Wright Brothers Museum in Dayton is massive.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, there you go on that one. Hey, I get it. They wanted to go where there was the reason they did it at Kitty Hawk is because they felt bad for how awful the reason they did it at Kitty Hawk. You brought up a blood feud.
I know.
First in flight.
Yeah.
Their license plates say first in flight, ours say birthplace of aviation.
So.
Just saying. No, the reason they went to Kitty Hawk is it's a beautiful place, and they wanted to do it on sand to have like a softer landing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, assuming things don't go so good.
That makes sense.
And
yes.
I'm sure winds too, because being near the ocean, the winds are really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if that's a good thing, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. Kitty Hawk, get your shit together.
Aww.
The South American nation is home to hundreds of archaeological sites, including the Inca citadel of Machu Picchu. I've heard of Machu Picchu in the Andean region of Cusco, and the ancient Nazca lines carved into the coastal desert of its Ica region.
Oh, I have heard those lines.
Those are nice. Yeah, I've heard Peru and I think Chile have like an insane amount of ancient cultures, like all over the place. So
yeah.
I mean, Chile, technically the birthplace of chili peppers. That's where the name comes from.
I think that's more impressive than the birthplace of aviation, personally.
No, I agree. No, I was talking about the states. I wasn't talking about countries. Because then you could be like, I'm from Italy. I'm going to claim democracy.
Yeah.
Get out of here with your Roman stuff. No, but no, that's and I'm pretty sure Chile is where the first potatoes came from too.
Whoa.
So yeah, if people didn't know, potatoes, tobacco, all chili peppers came from Central America originally and South America originally.
I believe that.
It blew my mind. Some people in Asia refused. They're like, no, we had them. It's like, no, you didn't.
Really?
You were like, yeah. And it's like, you were the biggest trade route in the world was going to the Indies and stuff. Like, yeah, you did not have them before. They're like, well, what if a bird ate a chili pepper and then flew across the ocean and then pooped over here? It's like, dude, stop coping. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. The Irish pretend like they've always had potatoes. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Chile's not like goddamn Sony saying like, oh, well, we have a patent now. So you got to, every time you eat a potato, you got to pay us a little something. With that said, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about a very aggressive animal that put 2 people in the ER right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Michelle.
Yeah.
What level of fear do you have of wild animals?
I mean, it depends on the wild animal. It depends on that. Yeah.
But I mean, like as a general threat, wild animals.
I don't know. It depends.
On what?
On if they're dangerous or not. Like, I'm not afraid of like the the salamanders that are living in my mom's house.
Okay.
But I am afraid of bears.
All bears?
Yes.
Mm.
All of them.
I mean, if they're black, fight back. If they're brown, lay down. If they're grizzly, I don't know I think you just die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if I told you that a very aggressive wild animal sent at least two people to the emergency room, what animal would you think that was?
I think it's a deer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Because I just tried to think of the one that like normally wouldn't.
I'm faking you out, actually. It's a squirrel.
Oh, no. Yeah, they do that.
Huffington Post has an article with the headline, Aggressive Squirrel Sends at least two people to ER in California City.
Wow.
San Francisco. Residents of San Francisco Bay Area city are on the lookout for an aggressive squirrel that has sent at least two people to the hospital for medical treatment.
Does it have rabies?
I think it's just really mean.
Oh.
I'm looking. We're going to find out together. Okay. You and me. This is a team effort, okay? But this is why I asked, like, how afraid are you of the general concept of wild animals?
Okay.
Like, I'm moderately afraid of the general concept of wild animals. Because that includes, like, how startled would I be if a full-size deer was just on my lawn?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little concerned if it was like, because I'd be like, why isn't it staying away?
Oh, I wouldn't be concerned at all.
So. Oh, I mean, if it was passing by, I wouldn't be. But if it was just like standing in my yard, not going anywhere, I'd be like, what is wrong with this deer?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Is it angry?
Worried. They're just hanging out.
I have the cutest family of possums in my front yard, backyard somewhere.
Yeah.
I keep seeing them on my Ring camera going around places, and every now and then the mom will be waddling around and you can see a baby on its back.
Oh.
I like possums. They eat bugs.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah. I say let's have all the possums. All possums, no gophers. That's what I want in life.
Okay.
But one year, do you remember years and years ago, we had like these crazy aggressive squirrels. They were chewing through our dumpsters or trash cans and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they chewed up my Halloween jack-o'-lanterns.
Oh, like mine do that every year.
I haven't had that problem very much, but I'm going to give a pro tip out there for every weekly spooky listener. You've earned this. When I had giant chunks ripped from my pumpkins and like trick or treat was the next day, I ran out to the store and I bought a bottle of temper paint. And I just squirted it generously on all of the cuts. And it made the pumpkin look like it had wounds all over it that were like seeping blood.
That's really cool.
It honestly was possibly my favorite jack-o'-lanterns ever because they just looked they just looked like they had been ripped apart and were bleeding. It was really creepy and fun. So thank you for that, squirrels. But let's talk about a scary squirrel. Joan Heblack told ABC affiliate KGO TV that she was walking in the Lucas Valley neighborhood of San Rafael when a seemingly came out of nowhere and attacked her leg, clawing and biting.
Oh, no.
Quote, it clamped onto my leg. The tail was flying up here. I was like, get it off me, Heblack said. We're laughing, I think, because that's what I would be yelling. If a squirrel just latched onto my leg, I'd probably be yelling, get it off me, to nobody in particular.
No, see, like, I'm not laughing because of that. I'm laughing because I wouldn't recount that. I wouldn't be like, and then I was like yelling, like, get it off me, because, come on.
You would just keep that to yourself. You wouldn't want people to know that. So then I just stood there like a friggin' alpha Chad and just let it gnaw on my leg, like, whatever, little bro. Now's not the time.
I just think that, like, it's kind of a given that you're freaking out. Like, you don't have to tell me that you're saying, get it off me. I get it.
Isabel Campoy also said she was attacked while walking in the same area. The squirrel launched itself from the ground to her face and wound up on her arm, leaving it bloody, she said.
Wow.
Whoa, this squirrel might be a misogynist. It attacked both of these women. It says here, both women went to the emergency room. Flyers have now been posted warning residents that the squirrel is no joke and that more than 5 people have been attacked by a, quote, very mean squirrel that, quote, comes out of nowhere.
Wow.
Oh, man. So I'm going to show you, Chell. This is an image of the arm injury. That's pretty bad. Like her arm is ripped up.
Yeah.
And that's the squirrel. Attack squirrel beware. This is not a joke. More than 5 people have been attacked, but it has like a shot of a squirrel flying through the air. So it's like funny. I'm sure you'd laugh, but I like that it says like, no, but really there's been a squirrel attacking people. Be careful.
Honestly, if I saw that, I would think it was a joke completely.
Yeah, but that's because you live near Philly.
Oh.
People do stuff like that in Philly.
Yeah.
I miss Philly. I need to come and visit.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Vanessa Potter of WildCare, a wildlife rescue organization in San Rafael, told KGO TV that the aggressive behavior likely comes from the squirrel being fed and cared for by humans when it was a baby. Oh wow, so it's an ingrate, is what you're saying. I thought they were nicer when they were hand-fed as babies.
No, because it actually hated those people when they were mean to it. Even
why do you just assume all animals hate their owners?
Well, because the squirrel is attacking people. I don't know.
I mean, the dog before wasn't attacking people, and you still assumed it hated its owners.
It does not hate, just didn't want to be around them anymore and be free.
Oh my God. Okay, Chell. Okay. She said squirrels are not vectors for rabies. Oh, that's helpful.
I didn't know that.
I guess, yeah. Experts say the public should not feed wild animals. I think that she's probably right that I don't think the way it read when it said being fed and cared for by humans when it was a baby, I think she meant when it was an adolescent.
Maybe.
It just was constantly being fed. So it no longer fears humans and it demands things from them, I guess. It gets aggressive with them.
I could see that, I guess.
If it was a baby being bottle fed by a human, I feel like it would be super nice.
Yeah.
That's usually how, especially mammals, but even birds, like if they're hand fed when they're little babies, they're just super, super nice. Not all birds. Some birds are still birds. Have you're not a rat person or a mouse person, right?
No.
Have you ever held a rat?
No, I've never. Wait, did you ask if I'd ever held a rat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Did you like it?
It was fine. Yeah, I had a friend growing up who had some rats.
Whoa, bragging right there. Throwing your weight around. I had a friend growing up.
Yeah,
nice.
weird, right?
Ouch.
Yeah, sorry. It's okay. She moved away.
Oh, thank God. That's the worst.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have at least that one friend that moved away.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed with rats that if you raise them from babies, feeding them and stuff, they are insanely friendly and cuddly. As to where if you get them from a pet store, that doesn't mean they won't be. It's just a little bit more of a roll of the dice about how friendly they'll be. Because they'll warm up to you. They're a mammal. Mm-hmm. They'll warm up to you. They'll be cool. But like if you raised it from a little bean and fed it and took care of it with it, it'll just really love you.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to be careful with that though. Cause I don't remember. I think it's like pigeons and stuff. You don't want to like, sometimes the animals then think that they're a person and then they like start like wanting you to be their mate and all this stuff.
And then you end up with a monkey that rips your face off.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking about pigeons, but yeah.
Well, okay, fair enough. You should really watch that documentary on the crazy chimp owners though.
No, that's okay.
The city manager's office did not immediately return a phone call seeking comment. San Rafael is in Marin County, about 20 miles north of San Francisco. So, as if people near San Francisco didn't have enough to worry about, now it's like, great, my bicycle's stolen and I got bit in the face by a goddamn squirrel.
Yeah.
Well, when we get back, we're going to talk about some UFO hunters planning a bizarre event in Scotland. Right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
We're back, and now we're heading back to Scotland, because Scotland's got a lot of weird stuff going on a lot of the time, I got to admit. This article is from the scottishsun.co.uk. The headline is, "Out of This World, UFO Hunters Plan Bizarre Event to Summon Alien Spaceships to Scotland." So apparently this is, I was skimming this, and it's pretty weird.
I don't think it's that weird.
Well, the article starts with, "The bonkers plan will see a team of paranormal investigators descend on the site of Scotland's most famous UFO incident later this month. They will try to make peaceful contact with extraterrestrials by using a specialist technique developed by a famed U.S. ufologist. The approach involves by meditating." Nice Scottish Sun. You guys invented English. Do better with it. The approach involves meditating in a field and playing sci-fi sound effects. This article's a little hateful.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the mirror.co.uk saying, like, selling things like, "The terrifying plan involves dressing like a French maid in a devious attempt to stop the," it's like they always sell things hard.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Robinson, a strange phenomena of strange phenomena investigations, has high hopes the plan could work after participants saw flashing lights during a trial run.
Oh.
Apparently they all tried meditating and saw flashing lights in the sky.
Yeah.
Sure. He said, quote, "We are trying to bring any off-world craft into our airspace. There is a desire to bring forward these objects which people claim are to be UFOs or UAPs." UAPs, I hate that. Come on.
Why?
Because it's UFO.
You don't like unidentified aerial phenomena?
No, I don't.
Fine.
It's a flying object and it's not identified.
Okay. Sometimes it's not an object, though. Sometimes it's just a light, or we don't know what it is. So that's why we don't say object.
Okay, I'm still not going to do it.
Okay.
The meditation will send out a desire for open contact. Quote, the quote's still going. "In the background, we play these special sound effects which help to enhance the mood, but also the meditative process. It all sounds very airy-fairy, I get that, but this has been tried successfully all over the world." Has it been tried successfully all over the world? Where are all the major UFO encounters then?
I just saw on a show someone meditating to get a UFO to come.
Yeah?
And it did, I guess.
You did air quotes. What do you mean by it did?
It was on TV, so I don't know if it's real. It was just on one of those shows where they look for things like that.
I mean, in general, in my experience, if it's on TV, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like it's a little different nowadays with like camera phones, but I used to always say, like, if it's on camera, it's almost certainly not real.
Mm-hmm.
Which this is a terrible aside, but it just made me think of it. Were you a Mad TV kid? I was a Mad TV kid. Oh my gosh. They were so great. They were so subversive. They really spoke to me as like a teenager. I just thought it was really funny. But they did a thing about releasing, the Zapruder film of Kennedy getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
They did a video talking about how they were releasing a collection of all of the unreleased Zapruder films, all the unreleased Zapruder home movies. Because obviously Zapruder was really into shooting home movies. That's why he was filming at the parade that day. And they start showing, like, first we'll show Lisa's birthday party. And it's like, it's on 8mm film and everybody's looking all happy and the girl's like clapping. And then the dad brings out the birthday cake with lit candles. And then the side of his head just blows out and he falls down and everybody runs and covers him in the camera. And they basically do like a picnic and somebody gets shot and everybody runs and covers again. All of them are the same.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but I remember that and it killed me. I thought it was so funny. So I'm a bad person, I guess.
Yeah. For
liking Mad TV. So it involves sound effects too. Oh, it has a name, the CE5 method, known as the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind Protocol.
Oh, okay.
Was developed by Dr. Stephen Greer, founder of the Center for Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The alien enthusiasts will attempt to communicate using telepathy and guided meditations, which followers believe will help guide UFOs to the spot at the Deckmont Woods near Livingston later this month.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, I think I've used this example before, but one of my favorite things to point out is like when you start combining multiple things like meditation, astral projection, and telepathy, you start saying like, we're going to use those to catch aliens. It's like saying like, I'm going to catch the Loch Ness Monster because if I'm riding on the back of a unicorn, there's no way it can escape me.
Yeah,
you're using things that are also unproven to prove something that's unproven.
Yeah. But then maybe that makes sense because it's all in the same gray area and maybe it's all real. And
it would be cool if it worked because it would prove a lot all at once.
Yeah. Actually, it wouldn't prove anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the aliens could have just been there or they could have heard the music and been like, what's that? So, like, it basically proves nothing.
Plus, as in the words of Sarah Connor, in an insane world, it was the most sane solution.
Yeah.
The site is famous for a 1979 incident during which forestry worker Bob Taylor reportedly had an encounter with a spacecraft. He reputedly saw mysterious dome-shaped objects landing in a clearing. According to the teetotal churchgoer, metal spikes then dropped down and attached themselves to his trousers.
Oh.
This is getting sexy quick. He later woke in a disheveled state before going to the cops. Baffled investigators were unable to establish what caused unusual marks seen on the ground, but detectives bagged up Bob's torn trousers as they probed whether he had been assaulted. The respected war hero continued to maintain he had been attacked by a, quote, spaceship thing until his death at age 88 in 2007. Mr. Robinson hopes investigators will be able to attract aliens back to the site with their meditation later this month.
Whoa. Hold on for a second.
Yeah.
So we're using this location because there was another UFO sighting that was literally a guy getting assaulted.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. We don't want it. That's not the kind of alien that you want, right?
What kind of alien do you want?
I didn't think it was one that like assaulted people. I don't know. Maybe this is what they want. Maybe I am just totally confused.
Did you think for a second maybe the alien or aliens were just having a really bad day that one time?
I mean, I get it. Things happen when you're having a bad day and you're an alien, but it's not nice. And I wouldn't want to try again and find out.
Well, like we just read that story. Are you now afraid of squirrels in general?
No.
Because of that story of one squirrel being awful?
It's not the same thing.
How is it? I feel like it's literally the same thing.
So there's a squirrel that's real bad, right?
Right.
There are a lot of attacks. So do you decide to go to the area of the attacks to communicate with squirrels?
Well, it's San Francisco area. It's San Rafael, so it's kind of a nice area. So maybe the weather's always nice.
But just to communicate with the squirrels. You're like, I think a really good place is where the squirrel attacks happened. seems like a bad idea.
Okay, no, I could see that. But I think maybe you just don't have enough sense of adventure.
Yeah, no. Maybe they're into things I'm just not into. It's possible.
A trial run has already taken place on the outskirts of Bonnybridge near Falkirk, which is considered one of the world's UFO capitals. Mr. Robinson said, quote, "Some people did see some bright flashes in the sky. They came from various parts of the sky. We don't know what that was. It could have been anything. But the only reason I'm not singing and dancing about it is there may have been a natural explanation. We previously told how investigators have demanded a public inquiry in Scotland into the existence of UFOs. The alien enthusiasts believe any evidence of sightings should be made public and heard in front of a parliamentary committee."
Okay.
It's a cover-up. They're covering up their haunted roads and they're covering up the UFOs.
Yeah.
But speaking of cover-ups, we're going to talk about some uncovered mummies found in China and Southeast Asia right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
All right. So, Chell.
Yeah.
It looks like, well, first of all, when it comes to movie monsters, what's the one you find scariest? Like Dracula, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man. What is it?
I didn't know I found ones. I don't really find them.
Oh my,
scary.
why are you always such an absolute Chad about everything? You're just like, I'm not even scared of nothing.
Yeah.
That's you.
I don't know. How about some sort of vampire thing? Okay.
Vampire thing. Okay, jeez. Okay, fine. Well, this is a true story about mummies, but they're a little bit different. This is from livescience.com. World's oldest mummies were smoke-dried 10,000 years ago in China and Southeast Asia, researchers find.
That's such a good idea.
What makes you say that?
Well, I mean, that's a good way to dry them. Like, smoke them like that.
See, just sound. I'm very worried about you. We're all very worried about you, Chell.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I feel like they used to just let them dry on their own. They didn't smoke them.
But the thing is, if you're going to let them dry on their own, it might not work. You know, like they might just rot instead of drying. You'd have to do like a special process so that they dry out correctly. I just think smoking is a good idea.
Good to know. The world's oldest known human mummies were created by smoke-drying corpses 10,000 years ago in Southeast Asia and China, long before mummification became commonplace in Chile and Egypt. Oh, wow. I didn't know Chile even has mummies. I told you. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
A study of dozens of ancient graves found in China, the Philippines, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia revealed that many skeletons that were found in a tight fetal position were treated by an extended period of smoke drying over fire before being buried. What?
I said, wow.
You like the weirdest things.
It's just so interesting.
Quote, excuse me, sorry. Quote, smoking likely carried spiritual, religious, or cultural meanings that went far beyond simply slowing decay. I don't know how to say that name. It's Shiao. Xiao Chun Hung? That might be right, actually.
Yeah.
Xiao Chun Hung, a senior research fellow at the Australian National University and lead author of the study, told Live Science in an email. The researchers have been puzzled by the high number of burials in China and Southeast Asia from 4,000 to 12,000 years ago, in which skeletons were hyperflexed or contorted in an unnaturally tight, crouched position.
Huh.
That is kind of weird. Do you want to see a picture?
Sure.
Of course you do. You're like, yes, show me the death. Show me the death. So that's one of the smoked skeletons.
Okay.
He is in like a really weird crouched position.
A really weird position. Yeah.
Yeah. That is super, super strange. I mean, as strange as, smoke drying corpses. Ugh. Oh God, there's more. Or contorted. A similar skeleton found in Portugal in 2022 was interpreted as evidence of mummification because it was hyperflexed. Okay, so my people got in on it. That's fine. Likely bound up so the arms and legs could be moved beyond their natural limits as the body decomposed.
Gross.
Yeah. But in many of the ancient Southeast Asian burials the researchers found, there was evidence of burning on the skeletons and not in the graves, which suggested some sort of ritual treatment of the body that included fire and smoke. The researchers used X-ray diffraction, a non-destructive technique that allows scientists to investigate the internal microstructure of a material, and infrared spectroscopy, I almost said everything without fucking up, spectroscopy to assess whether the bones had been exposed to heat. Many of the skeletons revealed evidence of low-intensity heating and discoloration from soot, rather than evidence of direct combustion, such as cremation.
It's so cool that we know that.
And you're so happy about it. That's the best part. This suggests that a specialized mortuary practice involving the smoking of a corpse was likely practiced widely in pre-farming communities across southern China and Southeast Asia. I think what's really interesting is that apparently there's no record of that too. Like it's amazing how things can just be completely forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's a smoked corpse for you, Chell. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
He's really blackened. That's definitely Cajun style.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Smoke-dried mummies are still being made today in parts of Southeast Asia, according to the researchers.
Okay, so they do still do it.
They traveled to Papua, a province in Indonesia, in 2019 and observed the Dani and Pumo people creating mummies of their deceased ancestors by tightly binding the corpses, setting them over a fire, and smoking them until they turned entirely black. Or as I would say, Cajun style. Drawing on these examples, the researchers concluded that ancient individuals were tightly bound after death and smoked for long periods over low-temperature fires. It literally sounds like making like smoked sausage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Although the deceased individuals the researchers investigated in their study are only bones with no skin, soft tissue, or hair preserved, they consider the remains to be mummies because they were deliberately mummified through smoke drying.
Yeah, and I guess in that case, depending on how they're buried, it's still not going to last forever. Their flesh and things.
I mean, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, it does.
A friend of mine said something like that, made a big long post and said, like, just remember nothing lasts forever. And I replied, tell that to gravity.
No.
Ha, I win. Quote, the key difference from the mummies we typically imagine is that these ancient smoked bodies were not sealed in containers after the process, and therefore their preservation generally lasted only a few decades to a few hundred years, Hung said.
That's
only a few hundred years? Punks. In the hot and humid climate of Southeast Asia, smoking was likely the most effective way of preserving the bodies. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But how these ancient hunter-gatherers discovered that smoking a human body could preserve it, quote, remains a fascinating and thought-provoking mystery, Hung said. And, quote, we cannot say with certainty whether smoking the body was first conceived as a way to preserve it. We're making some real cannibalism inferences here.
Well, I mean, how they discovered it, I would think it would be like a food thing, and then they'd be like, oh, we could do this with bodies. And then they'd be like, oh, they taste pretty good. And then they'd be like, we could also bury them though.
This is where it gets into pure cope. It's possible that ancient people discovered smoking accidentally as a byproduct of some kind of ritual practice, or that they discovered smoking animal meat first, then applied it to dead humans.
That's just what I said.
Wink, wink, wink. Quote, what is clear is that the practice prolonged the visible presence of the deceased, allowing ancestors to remain among the living in a tangible way, a poignant reflection of enduring human love, memory, and devotion. Also, delicious, Hung said. I might have added one of those things in there. So there you go. Michelle likes her corpses mesquite. And we're going to take a quick break with a little bit more spooky news before we get to our big topic right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
All right, we're back, and this is a story from the Associated Press. I always find these stories really creepy and fun. I don't know. A Bangkok road collapse creates a sinkhole, disrupting traffic and prompting evacuations. I find sinkholes really scary.
Sinkholes are kind of scary. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You're finally afraid of something, huh?
Yeah, I'm scared of sinkholes. There's
Finally.
a sinkhole in my neighborhood.
Did I know about this?
I feel like I told you. Thought I told everyone.
No, you did, because I made a joke about it going to hell.
Oh, I don't remember.
Which is pretty much what I always say about a sinkhole. But I'll tell you something right now, Chell. You're about to be jealous because this sinkhole is massive.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like, there's a pickup truck in the middle of it, and it looks like there's barely, like it's teeny tiny.
Yeah, you can
like
tell.
I mean, big hole.
By the way that the construction around it and stuff, that this is a person fuck up. Like, because somebody fucked up and put stuff in there they shouldn't have put in there.
Oh, like Jello packets or something.
Well, I mean, it could have been like where I grew up, where they just threw remnants of carpet and tree trunks and everything they could find, and then it became a sinkhole. Multiple sinkholes everywhere.
Show off. A part of a road in Bangkok collapsed Wednesday, leaving a large sinkhole that disrupted traffic, damaged infrastructure, and prompted evacuations in the surrounding area. There were no casualties, but 3 vehicles were damaged by the collapse in Thailand's capital, Bangkok. Governor Chadchart Sittipunt said, adding that officials believe the collapse was caused by construction work at an underground train station. That's less fun, but okay.
Yeah, it's barely a sinkhole then if it's just they fucked up something.
Wow, you're aggro today, Chell.
Oh.
Whew. People love spicy, Michelle. They always comment when you're angry. It's that they love it. So I'm just saying. Videos of the collapse showed the face of the road slowly sinking, pulling down several electricity poles and damaging water pipes. Cars tried to back away as the hole grew larger and completely severed the 4-lane road. One edge of the hole stopped in front of a police station, exposing its underground structure. People were evacuated from the police station and other buildings. A nearby hospital said it would close the outpatient services for 2 days, although Bangkok city officials said the hospital's structure was not affected. Officials cut electricity and water in the area as a precaution. Chadchart said crews were working to fix the hole as quickly as possible, fearing heavy rain could cause further damage. Bangkok is experiencing its rainy season, which typically extends from May through October.
Damn.
Not a great time to be in Bangkok, I don't think.
No.
So, we have another short one that I wanted to talk about from the Huffington Post.
Oh.
Talking about the fear of wild animals. I think this is actually pretty prudent.
Yeah.
Have you ever been, as a homeowner or just as an adult, have you ever been ding dong ditched? It's a lot of thought. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
Would it creep you out if somebody rang your doorbell at like 1 a.m. and then there was nobody there?
It would definitely creep me out if somebody rang my doorbell at 1 a.m, regardless. So
yeah. Would you go down and answer it?
I answered once at like 12, maybe a little bit earlier than that. It was my neighbor and they had got a package. That was my package.
They must work late, or they were just like, this is the time.
I think they were just like, let's just wait until she's definitely still awake because her lights are on, but she's absolutely asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Then we can go ring her doorbell.
There we go. Well, this is a different spin. The headline from HuffPost is Late Night Doorbell Prank Mystery Solved with a Very Strange Twist.
I think I know what it is, but we'll see.
Residents at an apartment block in Schwabach, southern Germany, you stink, I hate you,
sorry,
believed late-night pranksters were to blame for their doorbells buzzing nonstop. But when police arrived, they found a much slimier source of the annoyance, reported multiple media outlets. It turned out that a small slug, the look on your face is great, a small slug had been sliding up and down the bell plate and repeatedly triggering the sensors.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Now, do you think that this
yeah.
snail hates people too, and that's why it's doing it? It's like, no sleep. You can't sleep.
No, it wanted to meet some of them. They're just ringing their doorbell.
I feel like you're you're overcorrecting now. You're like, no, it's fine. Animals are nice. They like people.
Yeah. Slugs are just really good. So.
Oh, okay. I get that. After initially coming up short in their investigation, police officers eventually caught the mischievous mollusk in the act. It was, quote, brought down to size, taught about its territory boundaries, and placed on a nearby stretch of grass, police said.
Aww.
I like how they treat this slug better than they treat people who post memes criticizing their government.
Mm.
Germany. Acting like Germany.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not the first time a slug has sparked such confusion. Back in 2021, a woman in Essex, England, was woken in the night by her doorbell ringing. She discovered it was triggered by a slug.
Huh. Apparently they just do this, huh?
Well, it makes sense. I mean, they can activate things that, you would need like a finger to touch because it's warm. So makes sense the slug could do that. And they'd crawl over stuff. That's like their favorite thing.
Yeah.
Since they stick, they can just go anywhere they want.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Lucky. Quote, I was a bit freaked out first, and then when I played it back, I started laughing, Leanne Jennings recalled at the time. When I showed my friends, they were a bit freaked out. They gave me the kind of look they thought there was a ghost or an alien or something. I mean, they're alien-like.
I mean, we don't know what aliens are like, but yeah.
Well, you seem to think that they all are just like violent offenders.
Well, just the ones that seem to have a history of it.
Wow.
I'm not going to take it back.
Oh, okay. No, I respect that. I respect that for now. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to dive into this Library of Congress article about the origins of Halloween traditions to help you, the listener, get into the spooky vibe. That's our whole thing, is making sure spooky season is as fun as humanly possible, and we'll be getting to that right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
All right, Shell, we're back, and we're taking a look at this Library of Congress article about the origins of Halloween traditions. Because I don't know about you. I know we talk about Halloween a lot over the last few years on the show and in their friendship in general, but I've always loved Halloween. And I think that what started it for me were the TV specials.
Yeah.
Like when TGIF would be all scary episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the best thing ever. And then I remember like one year we had a Scholastic book fair at my elementary school, like in October or right before it or somewhere in that neighborhood. And I bought my first Garfield book, and it was Garfield in Disguise, which is the Garfield Halloween story.
Oh, cool.
And ever since then, I was always like really, really, really into Halloween. And of course, at trick-or-treating, getting candy is all awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the vibe. I love the sense that everybody's a little bit more fun and spooky, especially as somebody who I love spooky stuff all year round, obviously, because I dedicate so much of my time every single week to bringing spooky stuff out for people. So the idea that everybody's kind of joining in on the fun is really cool. I guess this must be how alcoholics feel on New Year's Eve.
Maybe.
They're like, finally, everybody gets me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I feel when it comes to Halloween. What about you? Do you remember any really fond early memories of Halloween?
No.
Fair.
I mean, one year it rained really hard. I remember that. And I went as a witch.
Oh.
I had lots of green paint on me, and it all came off in the rain.
Oh. Should have used grease paint.
Yeah, but I didn't because I was 5.
My favorite was the year it snowed heavily, 2 days before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We had serious snow on the ground, and I was so mad because Mom made me wear a jacket over my ninja outfit.
Yeah, that sucks.
There's nothing worse than that.
Yeah.
Other than being a kid and finding the perfect mask and realizing it can't fit you.
Oh.
You put it on and it's I can see through the nose hole. It's like you're not going around the neighborhood looking through the nose hole all night. And be like, oh, beans. So anyway, I just love Halloween. It's also why I think I love, and I think a lot of people love horror movie hosts, which is worth mentioning because I did get inducted into the Horror Host Hall of Fame a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But is because a lot of those horror hosts in the early days especially were newsmen and broadcasters.
Mm-hmm.
Putting on fright wigs and grease paint and vampire fangs and acting goofy to introduce these movies and trying to make each other laugh in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of charm to that because these are especially if you think of the 60s and 70s, broadcast people were the most adult people there were.
Yeah.
Walter Cronkite and stuff. It just, hello and welcome to the news of Pittsburgh. And then it's one of my favorites is Bill Cardile, who went by Chilly Billy on Pittsburgh Chiller Theater.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do anything. He didn't put makeup on or anything. He was just people just loved him.
Oh.
He would just be funnier, because he would literally, you could watch the Pittsburgh news channels and he would do on the street reports. He would do the pro wrestling live, sports segments and stuff. And then he hosted horror movies on Saturday nights.
Okay.
But a lot of people, and this is something really interesting, and I'll get back on topic. A lot of people, you had to work a lot of jobs to maintain your gig there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people ended up doing nightly news stuff. And then to supplement at the same station, they would not only then do a horror host other character, they would also portray Bozo the Clown.
Oh.
Because for a long period of time, there was a Bozo the Clown in most major territories.
That's terrifying.
My friend Dick Dizell, he was a newsman who portrayed Count Gore Duvall in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. And he was also Bozo the Clown.
Wow.
Area too. Yeah. So anyway, I just love stuff like that. But yeah, my point is that like that was the best because it was like you got to see adults dressing in their Halloween costumes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes Halloween specials fun too, is they're usually adults dressing up in Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
So back to the article from the Library of Congress. Carving pumpkins, trick-or-treating, and wearing scary costumes are some of the time-honored traditions of Halloween. Yet Halloween, the holiday, has its roots in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, or Samhain, depending on how you want to say it. Samhain is the Gaelic pronunciation. A pagan religious celebration to welcome the harvest at the end of summer, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor saints. Soon after, All Saints' Day came to incorporate some of the traditions of Samhain. The evening before All Saints' Day was known as All Hallows Eve, and later, Halloween. Here is a look at the origins of some of the classic Halloween traditions we know today. Carving jack-o'-lanterns. You love carving jack-o'-lanterns, don't you? I mean, because I've carved them with you.
Yeah, it's good.
The only hard part is like, I get so excited. I finally cut back on this. I used to get so excited with carved jack-o'-lanterns like the moment they had pumpkins for sale.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah,
unless you're having a really, and I mean really cold October, they're going to rot substantially quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have had a few years where like one put up in the middle of October because it's like not getting above 50. It don't get too bad. They're still going to rot a little bit. It helps if you spray the inside with bleach and water.
Gross.
It makes it decay slower, dude.
You should just smoke it like people did.
Solid callback.
Thanks.
The tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland using turnips instead of pumpkins. Have you ever thought about carving a turnip just to see?
It would probably be super annoying because they're really solid on the inside, and also they're not very big.
No, that sounds like so much work.
Yeah.
Like an incredible amount of work, but apparently they look really creepy.
I would
Turnips
think so.
Look scary, yeah.
Yeah.
It is allegedly based on a legend about a man named Stingy Jack who repeatedly trapped the devil and only let him go on the condition that Jack would never go to hell. But when Jack died, he learned that heaven did not want his soul either, so he was forced to wander the earth as a ghost for eternity.
I mean, that sounds okay to me, but sure.
You want to wander the earth as a ghost for eternity?
Yeah, sure.
You're like, I mean, depends on what's on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
The devil gave Jack a burning lump of coal in a carved out turnip to light his way. What? Do you think the devil just did like a bunch of like mescaline and acid and just like carved a turnip? I was like, whoa. And then when he came to, he was like, here you go. Light your way with this, bro. Locals eventually began carving scary faces into their own turnips to frighten away evil spirits. And speaking of spirits, this next Halloween tradition is all about seeing ghosts. And we'll talk about it right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The festival of Samhain marked the transition to the new year at the end of the harvest and beginning of the winter. Celtic people believed that during the festival, spirits walked the earth. Later on, Christian missionaries introduced All Souls Day on November 2nd, which perpetuated the idea of the living coming into contact with the dead around the same time of the year. So another tradition is seeing ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
What? Why are you making that face?
No, I don't know. That's fine.
Another tradition, wearing scary costumes. Which, by the way, have you looked at like old-timey Halloween costumes? They're mortifying.
Yeah, they're really upsetting. Yeah.
There was this whole era where it was perfectly acceptable to wear a full face mask of a thing. And no matter how terrifying it looked, they'd be like, yeah, that's Santa Claus. It's like, no, that's a fake face with rosy cheeks and a beard. Yeah, that's Santa.
Yeah, Santa
no,
Claus.
That looks horrifying.
Yeah. No, that's Santa.
In order to avoid being terrorized by all the evil spirits walking the earth during Samhain, the Celts donned disguises in order to confuse the spirits and be left alone. That's one of my favorite Halloween lores, is that the costume is what keeps you safe.
Mm-hmm.
In some of the versions, the costume is just so that they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Because the spirits are specific. And then in later ones that were a little bit nicer about the idea of souls coming back, instead of saying like, your grandpa's coming to whoop your ass because like you sold the farm, then it became that you're dressing up to blend in with all the spirits and scary things, which is the cuter kid version. But yeah, originally it was like, dress like somebody else because your dead dad might come and freaking kill you.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Jeez. Yeah. And he's not going to know if you dress weird because he's not that smart. So
No, he's not that smart.
Yeah.
Next up is trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been getting better trick-or-treaters lately? Do you do okay?
I do fine, but I've been doing okay since I moved. So it's been, I
remember I handed candy out with you that one time. There were almost none. I feel like. That was in Lansdowne.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was sorry. I was thinking about the other person who handed candy out with me last year, who was my dad. So,
oh, yeah, that was your dad.
Yeah. But no, in Lansdowne, there was like nobody. Because it's dangerous, and they don't want their kids going to all the weird
And now it's becoming hip.
I'm so upset.
Michelle's old hometown is becoming, or not home. Well, yeah, it was your hometown. Your home was there.
Yeah.
Is becoming hip and cool when it was a cesspool of scariness for a while. It was it wasn't the worst place. I don't want to oversell it.
Well, it's not also not fair because like it's not a large town, but it's very different in different areas.
Yeah.
So the place that's becoming hip was never dangerous or bad. It just wasn't hip. So I don't know how far south the hip is going,
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll know. But my neighborhood, it seems like every year we're getting even more trick-or-treaters. And we had bad weather 2 years in a row and still had a lot of kids. So I'm hoping this year we'll have clear skies, no rain at all.
And
kids. I can just pelt these kids with handfuls of candy. That's like what I want to do. My favorite thing is when a kid's too afraid to come up and take their candy. So I have to give it to another kid to give to them, knowing that they'll just eat it themselves.
Yeah.
But there is much debate around the origins of trick-or-treating. But generally, there are 3 theories. The first theory suggests that Samhain, Celtic people would that on Samhain, Celtic people would leave food out to appease the spirits traveling to the earth at night. Over time, people began to dress as these unearthly beings in exchange for similar offerings of food and drink. That's an interesting thing to think about too, because having a meal for somebody to not be eaten for somebody who's dead is a very long-standing tradition.
Yeah.
Also, wassail. Wassail from Christmas time? It's a kind of a similar thing. You make it to appease the spirits, but also like people come around singing and you give it to them. The second theory speculates that the candy boon stems from the Scottish practice of guising, which is a secular version of souling. During the Middle Ages, generally children and poor adults would collect food and money from local homes in return for prayers for the dead on All Souls Day. So almost like a sin eater, but not quite.
I guess.
Do you know about sin eaters?
No.
Really?
Yes.
There was a time in old, like, I think it was Scotland or Ireland, when people like derelicts and poor people and mentally ill people would take jobs as what were called sin eaters. Oh man, I need to do a terrifying and true on sin eating. And this is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
You would pay them in money to eat a meal off of the corpse's chest in their viewing.
Wow.
And the idea was that the sin that the person committed in their life would be in the food. And by eating it, the sin eater takes all the sin on themselves for a fee. So basically, they're like a surrogate. They'll take all the punishment for the sin when they die one day. It's a really old, eerie thing.
That's
but
really
sin
fucked
eaters,
up.
Yeah, dude. I can't believe you've never heard about sin eaters. That's wild. Yeah, it's really creepy. It's a really creepy thing. Yeah, I got to put sin eaters on the terrifying and true list because that would be one to do a deep dive about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a perfect one. Oh, a spoiler for anybody who's been, kind enough to listen so far in. I'll give you a hint. In December, I'm doing a terrifying and true that's a deep dive on how friggin' dangerous Christmas was in the Victorian era. How all the lights and stuff caused constant fires to break out and toys were killing people. It's all of the dangers of a Victorian Christmas.
Cool.
I'm really excited about that one. So I thought I'd spill the beans a little bit. So geysers dropped the prayers in favor of non-religious practices with the inclusions of songs, jokes, and other tricks.
Okay.
A third theory argues that modern American trick-or-treating stems from bell-snickling, a German-American Christmas tradition where children would dress up in costume and then call on their neighbors to see if the adults could guess the identities of the disguised. I've heard of that. Not that name, but I've heard of the thing where the game is figuring out who the kid is in the costume.
Mm-hmm.
In one version of the practice, the children were rewarded with food or other treats if no one could identify them. But in another version, they were killed. No,
I thought you were going to say that. Yeah.
I knew you thought that. Wow. Look. Oh, hold on. Chell, look at these 1962 kids in their Halloween costumes.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Look at that one. Oh, those are cute. Actually,
yeah, those look fine.
But look at that.
Yeah.
Their masks are so weird and off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Homemade costumes are so scary.
Yeah.
That's what I should do for Halloween. Every year I struggle with what am I going to do? Because I want to be scary to scare the kids. Last year I did a Psycho Santa, which I thought was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I should do just a really scary homemade looking costume with a stitched sack over my head or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much work. Michelle, will you make it for me, please?
Sure.
I'll pay shipping.
No.
Damn it. I thought it would work.
Is free.
Well, I almost missed that. I was about to start the next thing. That turned into wholesome content. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about cats, black and orange, and bobbing for apples right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Chell, you've offered a lot of challenging opinions this month, which I appreciate. I do. So I have to ask, how do you feel about black cats?
They're okay.
Wow.
I wish they had patterns on them because I just think patterns are cool.
Have you never seen a black cat where, like, if you look really close, they actually have like a little pattern? Because they do. There are ones that have like, they look kind of like, you know, that I don't know anything about cats. You know how they have that like kind of tiger striping or whatever? Mm-hmm. I've seen some where they have like a very, very light or very dark gray pattern.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's very cool. And you only can tell when you like really look.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the idea of being spooked by black cats, which is another classic Halloween tradition, dates back to the Middle Ages.
Oh.
I didn't know this. When these dark felines were considered a symbol of the devil. I did know that. It didn't help that centuries later, accused witches were often found to have cats, particularly black ones.
Oh.
So they were just lonely women?
Yeah. And they just happened to have cats that were black by genetics.
Yeah. People began to believe that the cats were the witches' familiar, supernatural entities that would assist in their practice of dark magic. And black cats and spookiness have been linked ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is one I've never really gotten an explanation for. Black and orange.
Yeah, I'm interested.
The traditional Halloween colors of black and orange also traces back to the Celtic festival of Samhain. For the Celts, black represented the death of summer, while orange symbolized the autumn harvest.
Okay.
That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
That almost pisses me off.
Yeah, sorry.
Because that like makes perfect sense. Like I'm like, oh, duh. Everything about that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now, here's your favorite, Chell. And one of the earliest Halloween, Halloween at first was Halloween, and then apostrophe en, Halloween.
I don't know if I knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
That was in the early days, because Halloween, as we see it, is really pretty new.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1930s, 1940s, maybe 20s. Bobbing for apples.
Gross.
What's gross about bobbing for apples?
Everything. There's apples, and then you have to.
You don't like apples?
No, they're okay. I just don't like you have to put your head in a water that's with other people's saliva.
Just your face, not your whole head. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to really do it right, yeah, you got to go all in.
Yeah.
Did you ever bob for apples when you were a kid? They didn't do that at your at
what?
I don't know. Your temple or your church or anything?
No, I mean, honestly, now that I think about it, I might have bobbed for apples at some point. Yeah.
Knew it. See, the church I went to, which is funny because they were when I was very young, the church I went to, they were very strict and very strict is really the best word. They were very if you made jokes in church, they were like, quiet, you and stuff. But they loved Halloween. They went all out on Halloween.
Interesting.
So I bobbed for apples a ton. I could never catch a damn apple. It's really hard to get an apple.
Yeah.
Unless it's really small, but you're a child, so your mouth is small. Mm-hmm. It's really hard. The game of bobbing for apples has been a staple at Halloween parties for many years, but its origins are more rooted in love and romance. We did notice when we did our deep dive on Halloween, on a Halloween guidebook on how to have a Halloween party, which tells you how new Halloween was, that people needed guidance on how to have a Halloween party. But they most of the party games, which I have a theory, by the way, but most of the party games were about figuring out who you would marry someday or pairing off because, it was for young adults. That was the whole argument. So it was for people who are 18 to 25 and single, you go to a Halloween party and try to make a lover.
Yep.
I do have a theory. If you look at the way they celebrated Halloween back in the day versus now, sometimes I think that's where a lot of the really scared church ladies who go it's satanic. It's when you look back at how they celebrated Halloween, it was seances and summonings. It's not that way now. People don't really do that stuff at all. It's all horror movies and and candy and, pizzas shaped like pumpkins. Oh, I love the pizza shaped like a pumpkin. I'm so excited for Halloween, even though it's the most exhausting time of year for me. I'm so excited, Chell.
I'm glad.
Oh, I am. I'm excited. I'm going to go to as many haunts as I can try to do.
Yeah.
Last year I went to a ton of haunts and I had an amazing time. So, and I'll report all the haunts I go to when we do monthly spooky at the end of October.
Cool.
The game traces back to a courting ritual that was part of a Roman festival honoring Pomona, the goddess of agriculture and abundance. While multiple versions existed, the gist was that young men and women would be able to predict their future relationships based on the game. When the Romans conquered the British Isles in 43 AD, the Pomona festival blended with the similarly timed Samhain, a precursor to Halloween.
Okay.
Ooh, pranking. Because, of course, trick or treat starts with trick or treat. Playing pranks often varies by region, but the pre-Halloween tradition known as Devil's Night is credited to a different origin depending on the source. Some say that pranks started as part of a May Day celebration, but Samhain and eventually All Souls Day also included good-natured mischief. When Irish and Scottish immigrants came to America, they brought with them the tradition of celebrating Mischief Night as part of Halloween.
Okay.
So what you're saying is there were a bunch of vandals and what we're saying is those Irish and Scottish immigrants were horrible. No. Ooh, lighting candles and bonfires.
Okay.
For much of the early history of Halloween, towering bonfires were used to light the way for souls seeking the afterlife. These days, lighting candles have generally replaced the large traditional blazes. That makes sense. I don't know anybody who's having a big bonfire for Halloween, if I'm honest.
My neighbors do.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not a
Lucky.
huge bonfire, but they have in their front yard. They just sit around and they have a little fire pit.
Oh, they hand out candy?
Yeah.
That's so nice. I like that. That's super nice. Do you ever go out there and say hi to them while they're doing it?
I did one year. I sat with them, but I gotta be here because I gotta do the things.
Oh yeah. It's just I always if I notice my neighbors, because a lot of my neighbors with an eye shot aren't doing much for Halloween. They're maybe handing out candy at best. So whenever I have a neighbor who's sitting out and putting an effort, I like to swing by and sneak them make them take a piece of candy or something from me. Yeah, just because it's hey, I couldn't help but notice you don't have any Milky Ways. Bet you like Milky Ways, right? Just I don't know. I just love Halloween so much. You'd never guess by the 6 fucking years I put into the show, right? Okay. We're getting close to the end of the list. So when we get back, we're going to talk about the strange, haunted, evil origins of candied apples right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Well, before you crap all over people enjoying their candied apples, Chell, for centuries, people have been coating fruit in syrup as a means of preservation. Okay. But during the Roman festival of Pomona, the goddess was often represented by and associated with apples. Her name derives from the Latin word for apple, pomum, and the fruit is at the heart of the harvest celebrations. I do love, have you ever made a baked apple?
Yeah.
Those are so good.
They are good.
Can I give you a tip?
Sure.
I made a baked. So do you core the apple and like put stuff in it?
Uh-huh.
I once did it, but I stuffed it with candy corn.
Oh my God.
It was awesome.
Wow.
It was so good, dude. Cannot recommend it enough.
It sounds really sweet though.
Well, the trick is you can't fit that many candy corn in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's actually not bad because you're probably getting like 4 or 5 pieces in there tops. And then it turns into a wonderful goo.
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Whether you love or hate candy corn, you like candy corn, right? I mean,
do.
you're not like in love with it, but you don't have like some people are just like, about candy corn.
No.
I love candy corn. I really do. And it goes great with cigars, which was like one of the big turning points of me saying like, yeah, I like cigars because I could sit there puffing and having one piece of candy corn every like 3 or 4 minutes and then puff and have another piece of candy corn. At the end of the day, they really taste like marshmallow and honey, which are pretty friggin' pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's my whole point is like, they're actually a really pleasant flavor. And that's why they're great on like a candied apple or like a baked apple rather.
Okay.
So highly recommend trying that. Just put a couple in that core instead and bake it. Okay. So I lost my place. It is believed that candy apples. Oh yeah. This is the dark history side.
Right.
Of candied apples. Candied apples were invented accidentally in 1908 by William W. Kolb, a candy maker in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh no.
That's why I did that whole buildup was I saw it said New Jersey in the thing. As the story goes, Kolb was experimenting with red cinnamon candy to sell at Christmas time. And he dipped the apples on sticks into the red glaze and put them in his shop window to showcase his new candy. Oh, wow. It was like to say, like, look how nice this hard candy, cinnamon candy is. Like I put it on an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've never had a candied apple with cinnamon glaze. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be so good because apple and cinnamon match made in heaven. Are you a red apple or a green apple person?
I'm a red apple person.
I know. I just wanted to hate you again all over.
Sorry.
I'm a green apple person 1,000%.
I know. It's weird.
Worst case, golden delicious, but I prefer green.
Blah.
Blah. But instead of selling the candies, he ended up selling the apples to customers who thought they looked good enough to eat. They became fashionable treats for Halloween starting in the early 1900s, and they remained popular up until the 1970s.
Wow.
Candied apples fell by the wayside, in part, I believe, due to the caramel apple.
I would agree. I like caramel apples better than candy apples.
I do too. You're not as worried about breaking a tooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And they're easier to make. Like, if you want to make them at home and not just buy them, because they'll be better if you make them at home. Mm-hmm. If you make a caramel apple at home, you're not talking a ton of work. I mean, it's a decent amount of work, but not like making a candied apple. Yeah. That's a lot of friggin' work. Like, if you're going to do that, honestly, if I was going to make candied apples, I would do the slices.
Mm-hmm. That would be,
I think that would be, although that would be amazing in caramel too. Oh my gosh. I need to see. I'm getting really hungry is what's happening on the show. Cause I was just like, I'm making elotes tonight for Rachel and her niece. Her niece is coming over and Rachel's making pizza. And she texted me this morning and was like, hey, I know it doesn't in any way go with pizza. And this seems really random, but can you make elotes to go with the pizza? I already bought ears of corn last night. And I was like, yes, I will make you elotes. If people don't know, that's basically a street corn covered in like a mayonnaise sauce and pepper and chili powder. It's very, very tasty. But I just realized I was like, oh man, I need to check if I have any what's it called? That sweetened condensed milk. Mm-hmm. I need to see if I have any. You know what's funny is I was going to say sweet milk and it filled the word, like it started the word sweetened condensed milk. I need to see if I have any because if you can pressure cook the can and it basically turns into dulce de leche.
Right. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
It's amazing, but I ate it till I made myself sick because it was a giant can of it. So I'm sitting there dipping pretzels in it, dipping slices of apple in it, and I'm like, I can't keep it. It'll only keep for like a week in the fridge, so I'm just eating it like every meal. Like I can't waste a can of sweetened condensed milk is like $1.80. It's probably way more. Maybe I don't know. Anyway,
how much it is.
we're getting close to wrapping this up. So I want to keep tirading, but I am really hungry. I have a donut from last night that I didn't eat that I'm going to eat to tide me over, because I think dinner's going to be late, because I got to make elote from scratch. Oh, and I'm going to make it from scratch. Like, I'm going to make the mayonnaise. Oh, because now I know how to make mayonnaise, and it's awesome. I cannot recommend enough. If you have an emulsion blender, making a week's worth of mayo takes like 4 minutes, and then you're done. You just have mayo. Anyway,
that's pretty cool.
Bats were likely present at the earliest proto-Halloween celebrations, not just symbolically, but literally.
You would think so.
You would think, right? Mm-hmm. As part of Samhain, you love bats, by the way.
I do like bats.
As part of Samhain, Celtics lit large bonfires which attracted insects, which in turn attracted bats. Mm-hmm. Man, that makes so much sense why the bats would become a part of the celebration. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they had bonfires. Giant bonfires were one of the first things they did to celebrate. That would totally attract bugs from everywhere. So then you see bats flying around. Happens at the drive-in theater sometimes.
Yeah.
At the drive-in, you'll see bats constantly because there are tons of insects around because of all the people and all the light.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's double-edged because they go to the light on the screen and the light from the actual projector. So you end up with just a ton of bugs. Yeah, the last time I went, you could literally just see bats zooming around all over. It was really cool. Aw. Medieval folklore expanded upon the eeriness of bats with a number of superstitions built around the belief that bats were harbingers of death.
Oh. Yeah.
Devouring candy. One of my all-time favorite Halloween pastimes. Even though I get older and now I used to be able to like eat candy for, like forever, it felt like. Yeah. And now it's like after 3 or 4 pieces, I'm like, I don't know. Unless it's really good candy or like a candy I'm obsessed with. Mm-hmm. If it's some like gourmet sours or something, I might like eat a ton of them. But I'm getting old, man. Sorry. The act of going door to door for handouts has long been a part of Halloween revelries. But until the mid-20th century, the treats children received were not necessarily candy. Things like fruit, nuts, coins, and toys were just as likely to be given out. Toys. That's why we have to TP their houses and keep our society in check. People began to favor the confections out of convenience, but candies did not dominate as the exclusion of other treats until the 1970s, when parents started fearing anything unwrapped.
Okay.
Did you have the house in your neighborhood where they handed out apples?
No.
We did.
Yeah.
We had like a couple of houses that would hand out apples. And of course, we also had the legendary dentist house where they handed out toothbrushes.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. We would never eat the apples. We were told apples will always have razor blades in them. So we would destroy them. We'd like throw them in the street and bust them up. We were awful.
I mean, you could have cut the apple and then you would find the razor blade and then you could eat the apple and have a razor blade.
I did not know that was where you were going. Oh, that was so good. Well played, Chell. Last one, candy corn. What we were just talking about.
Yeah.
A candy maker at the Wonderly Candy Company in Philadelphia.
Oh.
Is sometimes credited with inventing the tricolored candy in the 1880s. But candy corn did not become a widespread sensation until the Golitz Company brought the candy to the masses in 1898. Candy corn was originally called chicken feed. I do remember that. Chicken feed. And sold in boxes with the slogan, something worth crowing for.
Aw, that's weird.
Marketing was so weird turn of the century. Yeah. Like when the 1900s started, it was so weird. Like, and everything was like consolidated biscuit mix taste, consolidated flavor biscuits and stuff. Like, you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
People were like, well, people like consolidation. They like flavor and they like biscuits.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't sound exciting. Anyway, it's like in England, they still have digestive biscuits.
So I like digestive biscuits.
Of course you do.
They're really good.
No, I actually like them too. It's the name that's funny to me.
Yeah.
Digestive biscuits. Initially an autumnal candy because of corns associated with harvest time, candy corn later became Halloween specific when trick-or-treating grew in popularity in the U.S. during the 1950s. So that is a little rundown of some of the traditions that we still celebrate that we may not entirely understand.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about some horror movies I saw in the theater, maybe a little bit of Reddit creepiness, and wrap things up as we get ready to head into spooky season and see you all again right before Halloween. But we'll be back right after this.
I've got Dan Morgan here on the pod. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Dan Morgan. I'm an attorney and a managing partner at Morgan & Morgan, which is America's largest injury law firm.
That's pretty awesome. I think I saw a billboard of yours recently that said 20 billion won. 20 billion is an insane number.
Yeah, 20 billion recovered. It's actually, I think, somewhere north, probably closer to 22, 23 after this year. And each year we get bigger and badder and our army grows. So the number will hopefully keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Awesome. So how does someone get in contact with Morgan & Morgan? What would I do if I got into an accident?
Probably the easiest way is dialing pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. We are always open. Our call center is always waiting to take your call. 24/7, 365.
Wow. Dan Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Thanks for coming by the show.
Thanks for having me.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
All right, we're back wrapping up this September 2025 edition of Monthly Spooky. And no joke. So one of the things I like to talk about on the last segment of the show is horror media I've been watching, whether usually ideally in the theater, but whatever, a new horror TV series. Although, man, we were maggoty with them for a while. We had Haunting of Hill House, and then the next year we had Haunting of Bly Manor, and the next year we had so many good ones for years on years. We had Midnight Mass, which was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And now we haven't had one in like 2 years. It's a bummer.
Damn.
I love those spooky series, but obviously, but it's funny. Right before we started, I was like, oh man, horror movies in the theater. I don't think we've had any luck since the last show. So then I pulled up my phone and looked at my own Instagram because I take pictures of movie stubs, before I go into a theater. I've seen 3 horror movies in the theater since our last show.
Oh, okay.
So there has been no shortage of horror films to watch in the theater. And the quality has been overall pretty good, actually. The first one I saw was The Conjuring Last Rites, the final film in the Conjuring series, the very popular Conjuring series, which features the Warrens, the famous paranormal investigators who are undoubtedly frauds, but the movie version of them is super fun.
Good.
In fact, I'll give you one more spoil for hanging out this long with us. The biggest episode of Terrifying and True in October is going to be a super long deep dive into what the Warrens lied about.
Cool.
Like the Warrens fact or fiction, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Super detailed. My voice already hurts imagining how long it's going to take to record it. But I'm really looking forward to it. But Conjuring the Last Rites, it had everything you like about the Conjuring movies. Have you seen any of them?
I think I saw one of them.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun ghost romps with like lots of special effects and scares. Mm-hmm. This one delivered everything you would like if you like those movies. Mm-hmm. And it wrapped it up in a neat bow and kind of made it feel good, like positive at the end. So I highly recommend, if you liked any of the Conjuring movies, check out The Conjuring Last Rites. The next horror film I saw is called Him. And it's kind of popular. Its claim to fame is that it was produced by Jordan Peele, who made Get Out and Us and Nope, which I like all his movies quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But he was a producer on this one. And it's about a football star who has to go to this training camp to try and become like the biggest player in the world. And something is really weird at this training camp. Like the medicines are questionable. The rituals are questionable. It's really weird and creepy. I liked it. The ending was the only thing I didn't really love.
Oh, really?
I thought the ending felt really kind of unearned and odd.
Uh-huh.
And if the ending had been strong, it probably would have been one of my top horror movies the whole year. Because it had such an immense amount of symbolism. Like the symbolism was so thick, I knew I was missing things. Because I was like so busy looking at things, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like one of the big things is they keep saying like you want to be the goat, the greatest of all time, and there's goat symbolism everywhere, like the animal everywhere, and an immense amount of biblical symbolism too, like obscene amounts of biblical symbolism. So I really thought it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, the ending didn't quite work for me. But if you like kind of weird, challenging, heavy duty horror, it's really a good time. And then finally, I watched the latest Stephen King adaptation, The Long Walk, based on his novel of the same name, which is basically a story about 50 kids. Well, they're adults, sort of. I mean, they're like young men who they apply for a lottery to go on what's called the Long Walk. And it's where you have to walk at 3 miles per hour until nobody else can go. Whoever doesn't stop wins. And if you stop, there's rules. Like you have 30 seconds to start up again. You get one warning. After you hit 3 warnings, they shoot you in the head.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah. And you that's it. Like it's really good. It's really interesting. I felt like it was a big allegory for military service because they were all excited to do it. And then the reality sets in that it's really, because they know that you die if you lose, but the reality's harder, you know? But they make friends along the way, which again, I think plays to the concept of, you know, how the military works, because people do make lasting friendships in the military and stuff. And the winner gets an obscene amount of money and one wish granted by the bizarre totalitarian government in this version.
Can the wish be that no one actually died? Can it bring your friends back to life?
Sadly, they actually say like it's a wish that can be granted by like the government or the military.
Damn.
So,
can the wish be to dissolve the Long Walk?
So apparently, first of all, they mentioned that pretty early on.
No.
They suggest that in the past people have died before they could win after suggesting that out loud.
Okay.
So, but that doesn't mean that the goal isn't for several of them to end the Long Walk, and none of them are into it. By the time there's down to like 5 of them, they all hate it. They all believe this is like the most evil thing you could do to anybody is put them through this. Yeah. It was really good. I liked it. My only complaint was one of the actors. He was really good, but he had a horrible accent. So bad. His accent, he was doing a Southern accent, and his accent was so bad that I actually turned to Dave while we were watching it and I went, was I not paying attention, or did he not have an accent before? Because it would come and go.
Oh.
He would all of a sudden have this real long drawl, and then he kind of talked somewhat normal.
Yeah.
And it got to be really distracting. And he's British, so when he said fuck, I was like, oh, he's British. Fuck. They all say fuck, you know. Remember, if you're ever talking to somebody and you're worried they're British and hiding it, tell them to say the phrase federal court order. They'll fall apart. It's just impossible to fake the American accent and say federal court order. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's you're welcome. That's a free tip for everybody listening. But yeah, I enjoyed The Long Walk. If you like Stephen King stories and you don't mind a really dour concept, it's really fun. Before we get out of here, Chell, is there anything creepy going on in Reddit land?
Okay, so I have this one, and it's interesting because that deals with Stephen King slightly.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not really, but so there's this human, the poster, it's from Glitch in the Matrix.
Okay.
And so they were like texting their friend, and they wanted to quote a line from Stephen King's book On Writing, which you know about.
I love that book. I've read it twice.
Yeah. So they went to quote, they like couldn't remember exactly like what they wanted to quote. So they opened the book to that page and found the quote and everything. And then they were like, let me get something to drink. So they went in the kitchen, left the book open, came back 90 seconds later, book is closed. So I assume when we're talking about open, we're talking about upside down open. So it can't close. It's not, book is closed. No. Sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Comes back 90 seconds later, book is gone. No longer on the table.
Okay.
And so they're looking like all over the house for it, like freaking out, like I was just doing this. Eventually they just decide like I'm just going to go take a walk because I can't deal with this. Come back, book is on the table, closed. So they open it to the page. Actually, they open it and it just opens right to the page that they wanted to. And right next to the quote, let me pull this back up. In blue pen, in handwriting that kind of looked like their own, it said, "You already know this," which is weird because they don't write in their books.
Yeah, who does?
Yeah, I don't. No.
I don't either. That is so weird.
Yeah. I think it's a carbon monoxide thing, honestly.
Yeah, it sounded carbon monoxide. Did they post a photo of the book, the note?
They did not.
See, why not? It would be so easy to share that.
It would also be easy to fake it too, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point, is like, it feels even more sketchy that you wouldn't take the picture, since even if it was fake, it wouldn't be hard to fake it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone through all of the comments, but I don't see anything suggesting, this person said carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, that sounds like old carbon monoxide poisoning to me.
Yeah,
but that's creepy, though.
Yeah, it is. It just like, if it looks like you wrote it and you don't remember writing it and you couldn't find, like, that sounds like you're gonna die in your house.
Oh yeah, and not like, it'll be scary, but not in the way you think it'll be.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chell, for making sure we're plugged in properly to the Reddit hive mind for creepiness.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you guys listening to Monthly Spooky. We've done so many of these episodes now. I think we're up to almost 30 episodes.
Wow.
There's something really fun about wrapping up the month by talking about spooky stuff with a little bit more humor to it. Having a good time. I really appreciate it. I just appreciate you guys listening. And thank you, Michelle, for doing the show with me. It really does mean a lot to me to be able to hang out with you and annoy you in a way that is captured forever for posterity instead of the way I normally annoy you.
Well, yeah.
And we'll be back at the end of October on the 27th to talk about Halloween a little bit more, have some fun, and make sure you're all in the spooky state of mind, because sometimes it can be hard. Life can get challenging. You can end up working a lot or whatever, and you just lose that spirit. Well, we're here to help bring it back, baby. So until next time, for myself, for my executive producers, Rob Fields and Bobbletopia.com, my producer, Dan Wilder, and of course, our composer, Ray Mattis, we will talk at you next time. Make sure to head to weeklyspooky.com/join and help us for as little as $1 a month. Get bonus shows and so much more. weeklyspooky.com/join. I did everything out of order because I'm just so hungry. So Michelle, you have the final word. Please don't say anything mean about those poor dachshund owners.
Oh, well, then I don't have any more final words. That was it.
Damn it.